At first glance, early March might seem like an odd time for Fire Weather Awareness Week in Pennsylvania. First instincts might be that the highest wildfire danger would coincide with the hottest time of the year. But most Pennsylvania wildfires, about 75%, occur in meteorological spring, March, April, and May. Here's the average over the last 20 years. For each month, as a percent of the total, only about 7% occur in meteorological summer, with 13% in fall and the rest in winter. Spring is the preferred season because the sun is climbing higher in the sky in those months. Days are longer and warmer, but the trees haven't greened up yet, so sunshine can easily reach the forest floor and dry out dead leaves and brush left from the previous fall. That becomes the fuel. Then you throw in periods of low relative humidity that are common in spring, as well as gusty winds. No wonder that DCNR regulations prohibit campfires and other open burning on state forest lands from March 1st to May 25th. As for ignition sources for wildfires, the most common in Pennsylvania is debris burning, fires that typically start harmlessly on someone's property but end up spreading to nearby woodlands. Here's a breakdown of Pennsylvania wildfires by cause. Debris burning responsible for more than 40%. Arson accounts for about 20%. Equipment here means mostly downed power lines and sparks from vehicles. Miscellaneous includes fireworks and smoking, for example, and the smallest piece of the pie here, I didn't even label it, is lightning, about 1%. In the end, about 99% of all wildfires in Pennsylvania are the direct result of people's actions. Here's a look at the number of acres burned per year in the state going back 30 years. Obviously, a lot of variability from year to year. The average over this period is about 4,100 acres. That's around 3,000 football fields of Pennsylvania land burned by wildfires on average each year. To finish up, I thought it would be informative to compare two recent but very different fire seasons to show how the flavor of the weather in the first few months of the year can foreshadow how the spring fire season might be. I will compare 2019 with about 700 acres burned with 2023, which had more than 9,000 acres burned. Now, the first 3 months of 2019 were about average temperature-wise, within a degree or so of normal, and it was very wet, more than half the state at least an inch above average. Seasonable temperatures plus wetness led to one of the least active spring fire seasons in the last 30 years. Compare that to 2023, a very warm start to the year, generally 4 to 8 degrees above average, and about 2/3 of the state was below average in precipitation. Warm plus dry led to a very active spring fire season. The first 2 months of 2024 in Pennsylvania have been relatively warm, but relatively wet. It remains to be seen how the spring fire season reacts to those mixed messages. Stay tuned. We'll be back in a moment with more.